It's tough, and I think that that's actually why people don't start more businesses, is that you get overwhelmed really quickly. But kind of as I alluded to before, I started making a lot of lists. So I thought really clearly. I like figured out every day what my to-do list for the day was, and I think that people talk a lot about entrepreneurs as being visionary and having this sort of grand vision, and that is so important, and we did have that for Nest of sort of ultimately what I wanted us to look like. But in the beginning, I rarely thought about it. I mean, I had that in the back of my mind the whole time, but I every day sat down and made a list of the things that I needed to accomplish. So we applied for a business plan competition, we found lawyers, we registered, all the things that you kind of like step by step have to do, and every day I just kind of ticked them off. So I think for the first year, like that balance of kind of focusing on the steps in front of you, while also kind of trying to stay visionary at the same time, it's tough, but I think it's kind of helpful to just break it down into simple, easy steps. It's so funny. There's an organization called Ladies Who Launch, which is an organization, I'm not even sure if they're still around, but they used to be for female entrepreneurs. And I went to one of their meetings, and they talk a lot about how the sort of traditional way of starting a business is linear. So you have an idea, particularly for profits, you invest in your idea, you grow it into a big company, and then at the end you sell it, and then you maybe start and do something else, or you've made a lot of money and you retire, or however that looks. And it's a very linear process. And for women, it's often very circular and organic, and we start one way and then end up somewhere else, and it kind of all evolves. And I remember when I had the idea for Nest, I called my dad, who's a for-profit entrepreneur, and he started several companies, and he was like, send me your business plan and financials, which of course I had neither. And I had no idea even how to craft financials or write a business plan. So I like Googled business plan sample or something like that, and like found an example, and like sat down and started writing. And I felt totally stuck because I actually had no idea exactly what it was going to be. I just had the idea. And so I quickly closed Word and decided not to call my dad for a little while. And instead literally went through my cell phone and called all of my friends. And I think I spent more on coffee than I did on rent for, the first few months. And I literally just picked everyone I knew's brain, like my friends, my parents, my neighbors, everybody. And they had a lot of wisdom. And so, I think that I definitely took advice from a lot of people and realized, particularly if you're doing something with a social mission, that you can engage people. So by doing that, I had this huge team of supporters that believed in what I was doing and were ready to get involved and volunteer and donate and kind of help. And a lot of those people are still involved today. But I think that, particularly and this is certainly not just women, but I think that using the people around you and network, I think it's our generation too. I mean, we have Facebook, and we're constantly connected to so many people, and using those resources to our advantage is maybe not obvious, but certainly something I think people should do.